Namaskar students. Explanation of monohybrid crop. He used pea plant. This you already know. In pea plant there were several characters that Mendel studied. And among that character we will take only one character, and that is height. When the expression of only one character is studied among the inheritance, when the inheritance of only one character is studied, the such type of cross is referred to as monohybrid cross. So children, what did Mendel do in this cross? He took two parents, parent 1, capital T, capital T. Now what is this capital T, capital T? This T and T is the genotype of parent 1. What is genotype? Genotype is the genetic makeup. Parent 2 was taken as capital small t, small t. So this parent 1 was pure for tallness and parent 2 was pure for dwarfness. Children, this point is very important to notice, that what is pure tall, what is pure dwarf. So an individual which carry both the alleles for tallness, that is pure or homozygous tall. Homozygous tall, and this one is also homozygous dwarf. This one is homozygous dwarf. This one is homozygous tall. Now what did Mendel do? He made a cross between these two individuals. When a cross was made, he obtained so many plants, but all the plants were tall. So F1 generation, that is filial 1 or first generation, he obtained all tall plants. When two parents were crossed with each other, all tall plants were produced. Here you need to notice that parent 1 has homozygous pure tall genome, other parent has pure dwarf homozygous genome, but the individuals which were produced in F1 generation, they were not pure genome. Rather, they were hybrids. You can see over here, this is heterozygous tall. Although the individual is tall, but it is not pure tall or homozygous tall. It is heterozygous tall. So this is the first step of monohybrid cross. So let's revise. First step, Mendel took two parents. Parent 1 was pure tall. Parent 2 was pure dwarf. Then he made a cross between the two. Now you must be thinking how this T and T has come. Look here, children. When parent 1 will produce two gametes, that is T and T. Similarly, parent 2 will also produce two gametes. And when a cross will be carried out between the two, this will be crossed with this also, this will be crossed with this also. So we will get 4 plants, but all the plants will be with genotype TT, means heterozygous tall. They were not pure tall, rather heterozygous tall. Now the second step of monohybrid cross, to obtain F2 generation. In the second step, Mendel took this F1 hybrid and he self-crossed them. He self-pollinated them, means he took two hybrid plants, and he crossed them. As a result, as I explained you previously, this will also produce two gametes, capital T and small t. In the same way, it will produce two gametes, capital T and small t. When the possibilities were checked, that when they are crossed, how many different possibilities are there? Let's see. So let's take male gametes here, female gametes here, and male gametes here and deduce a cross between the two. When this T, that is female gamete, is crossed with this male gamete, what will be the product? Capital T, capital T. Okay. When this capital T, which is a female gamete, it is crossed with this T, what will be produced? Heterozygous tall plant. Similarly, when this T is multiplied or crossed with this gamete, again we will get a heterozygous tall. Now the last option, when a small t, which is female gamete, is crossed with the male gamete, which is again small t, we will get small t and small t. This is the product which he achieved or he obtained in F2 generation. Children, if you look at the possibilities, what will be this plant? What will be the phenotype of, this is genotype. This capital T, small t, double small t, all these are the genotypes. Genotype means genetic makeup. What will be the genetic makeup of the organism? So here the genetic makeup is pure tall, heterozygous tall and pure dwarf. So you can say that in F2 generation, Mendel obtained two types of plant. One were tall and other were dwarf. And what is the ratio of tall is to dwarf? Let's count. This one will be tall, 1. This one will be tall, 2. This one will also be tall, 3. So tall plants produced were 3 in number. Is to the ratio of dwarf. Only one dwarf is produced. So this ratio which is obtained, it is called as phenotypic ratio. What is this called as? Phenotypic ratio. So the phenotype. What is phenotype? How do they appear physically? When we see them, when they appear to us, they appear tall. Irrespective of the genotype. If we will go into the details and we will check the genotypic ratio, then this TT, is there any other in this checkerboard which is having this type of genome? Capital T and capital T? No. So, how many plants with capital T and capital T? Only one. Then capital T and small t. How many plants with this type of genetic makeup? 2. So, another one is 2. And how many plants with single T and single T? 1. So, this 1 is to 2 is to 1 became the genotypic ratio. Now, this is the monohybrid cross that Mendel obtained. है ना? And through this cross, Mendel deduced one law which is called as law of dominance. So children, when Mendel performed this whole cross, he came to the conclusion that out of 2 characters, see here Mendel took one character, that is height. The inheritance of one character was studied, but that one character had 2 forms. One was tallness, other was dwarfness. So after performing the experiment, he concluded that the feature or the character that appear in F1 generation will always be referred to as dominant gene. Why dominant? Because this gene, that is capital T, one gene was capital T, another allele, this is called as allele. So every gene has a pair of alleles. Say for example, this was the gene for height. It has 2 alleles, one for dwarfness and other for tallness. So we saw in this cross, Mendel observed that when the allele for tallness is present singly, means whether TT, capital T and capital T is present or capital T and small t is present, this capital T is going to express itself. So the trait which expresses itself in the presence of another allele as well, that is referred to as dominant gene. And the other gene which did not express itself, बच्चे ड्वार्फनेस ने अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस नहीं किया था F1 जनरेशन में, सो द जीन विच रिमेन सप्रेस्ड or did not show the expression is referred to as recessive. Okay, so the gene that expressed itself is referred to as dominant gene, and that remains suppressed in the F1 generation, that is referred to as recessive. So this is what is monohybrid cross. This is important. Sometimes it is asked in the exam, what is the phenotypic ratio of the monohybrid cross? So 3:1. Why 3:1? Because all the plant, phenotypic mean P for phenotype, P for physical appearance. Okay. So when physically seen, all the three plants were tall, irrespective of their genotype. But when the genotype was checked, one plant was having one type of genetic makeup, two plants were similar in genetic makeup, and still one was having different type of genetic makeup. So when we observe the plant physically, we call it as phenotypic ratio, and when the genotypic ratio is observed, that is called as, when the genome is checked, that ratio which is obtained is called as genotypic ratio. Children, tomorrow I will be sending you the video for dihybrid cross. Through monohybrid cross, which law was deduced? Law of dominance. What do the law of dominance say? Law of dominance says that the gene, the trait, the character that will express itself in F1 generation is referred to as dominant, and the other one which will not express itself, which will remain suppressed, that is referred to as recessive gene. And whenever such type of question is there, you can always perform it in this way. You have to deduce the cross, you have to write the phenotypic ratio, you have to write the genotypic ratio, and then you will giving the example, you will explain the law of dominance. Thank you so much, children. Tomorrow you will be receiving the video for dihybrid cross as well. Thank you.